Hello, everyone. Welcome to our panel. I am Petra Mayer. I'm the books editor at NPR News. I'm going to introduce myself because you probably don't know who I am, but I'm sure that you know who I'm talking to today. We have Jack Black and Kyle Gass, Jables and Rage Cage, Tenacious D. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm really excited. And we're talking about their awesome new graphic novel, Post-Apocalypto. And I gotta say, it starts with a nuclear apocalypse, right? And to me, that's almost comfortingly retro at this point. Wait. You started writing this in 2016, right? So what originally spurred it? And since everything that's happened since then, if you were doing it today, how would it be different?
Well, before I answer that, I'm hearing a high pitch whoo.
We have to live with it. They're public radio. They don't have fancy equipment.
It is a nice powered laptop.
It's better and she can't
harmonize with it.
They don't have it. Good stuff. Yeah, it's
okay. Well, now it stops momentarily. So obviously, when Trump won the election, me and Cage were inspired to write Post-Apocalypto because we looked at each other and we're like, it's the end of the world. What are we doing? We got to do something about this. So we made this post-apocalyptic, I guess you would call it a warning to the world about our impending doom. And we basically wrote it and created this work to save the world. I guess that's the simple answer. Wouldn't you say that's about right, Cage?
I think we wanted to save the world as best we could. And so we had to do it with our rock and our doodling, Jack's doodling.
And the thing about it was also an opportunity for us to explore our favorite genre, post-apocalyptic cinema and graphic novels. It's the best genre there is. It's the most entertaining. I think we can all agree, Road Warrior.
I was about to say there's definitely some Mad Max, some Furiosa vibes in there.
Yes. Terminator. These are the best movies ever made. And we wanted to dive in head first. But, you're also going to see a little pinch of Wizard of Oz, which some people think is the first post-apocalyptic adventure, if you count powerful land-destroying tornadoes as an apocalypse of its own.
Dude, you're blowing my mind. I had never actually thought of it that way, but now I will not be able to look at it the same way. Also, I will not be able to look at Terminator the same way after seeing what you guys did with it in the book. I have to add.
I was half expecting to be sued by James Cameron because we just did a clean Terminator rip. But I went with a kind of Arnold Schwarzeneggian accent, obviously. And had a lot of fun with that character. And we took it to the limits. It gets, AI and robots of the future, we believe, will become powerful sexual equipment, I guess you could say. Yeah, we explored all of the possibilities of the Terminators of the future.
Dude, you're right. Robot sex will be the surrogates of the future in the virus times.
Yeah.
We should
in fact, I don't even think we should call them Terminators because terminating is not the only thing that they're capable of doing. They're also capable of giving tremendous physical pleasure and satisfaction.
So this isn't even a post-apocalyptic tale, really. It's a blueprint for how we should live now. Exactly. In our own current apocalypse.
Game and match, Petra. Game and match.
So the book does definitely take it to a lot of limits, every limit you could possibly think of. And I wanted to ask sort of what came first? The story, the music, or the giant, I'm going to call it a dictopus?
Oh, the dictopus? That's a cool name for it. We never called it that. What do we call it, Kyle? Crack-a-lack-a-ding-dong.
Crack-a-lack-a-ding-dong, yeah.
It's it's sort of like an octopusian beast that has all the genitalia in the universe.
H.P. Lovecraft could never.
Sorry, I got lost in the dictopus. What was the question again?
Also a theme before. What came first? Sort of the imagery, the music, the story?
Well, first came the terror of our impending doom, that we were going to have a massive power hungry idiot at the helm of our country, and the destruction of the earth seemed imminent. So what came first was we wrote that song, right, Cage?
Yeah.
Hope. It was a song of hope, and from that sprang the first episode, where it's kind of like, laying the groundwork, where me and Cage are just hanging out, jamming and playing video games, and then there's an apocalyptic event, and we go out, and the world has transformed to this new post-apocalyptic landscape, and we realize we have to survive. So first came the song, and then came the first episode, and then we took a couple months to think about, where is this thing going to go? Like, we didn't have a clear idea of what this the piece was going to be. We knew
not like George Lucas in Star Wars, for instance.
What's that? What's that?
Not like George Lucas in Star Wars. He had the whole blueprint for all 9 episodes.
Oh, did he? Well, we had a general idea that we were going to go on a journey. We were going to save the world, and that, Trump was the super villain, Trumpism, rather. So we had a blueprint, but it was pretty vague. And so we would just work out just little story points, and then we would build music and story around it, and then just fill it out with improvisation. That was our.
And then Jack would have to go away and draw it all, which was quite an arduous task.
It was arduous, but I really loved it. I love drawing, and I'm hoping that this graphic novel wins like a Pulitzer or something, because then that means I get to do some more doodles in the future. It's up to you, Pulitzer.
Pulitzer committee to play You Can Doodle. Keep doing it, man.
And maybe a Nobel too.
You're right. We don't need a Pulitzer. We don't need prizes to make more graphic novels.
You're right.
Yeah,
Rock.
We'll see.
I did want to ask about, because you drew the whole thing yourself. What was that like? I mean, it's a lot of work.
Well, it was really only because Cage believed in me. Cage has always encouraged me to draw more. He's always been a fan of my drawings and my doodles.
So funny. I mean, it really came out of, we were going to go with like a cartoon house, like a production, and go kind of official legit. But Jack did like a storyboard of an episode for a pitch, and it was so good and funny. It was like, wait, I think this is it. This is what it should be right here.
I think behind every great artist, there's like a great father figure or a grandfather figure.
Sure. Yeah.
In my case, who can really just encourage you and sort of fan creativity.
Yeah.
And I think that's important for all those artists out there. Find your grandfather figure.
Find your Cage.
To support you emotionally, creatively.
I don't get the grandfatherly vibe. I feel more Beavis and Butthead.
I kid. Cage and I obviously are more like brothers, but
the older we get, the shorter our gap gets.
I know. We're getting closer together. Pretty soon we're just going to be two old farts and exactly the same age.
I think we're there.
What happens? You kind of get
We're not there yet, Cage.
Ow!
So were you thinking about Beavis and Butthead when you were doing this? Because that just kept popping into my head.
Well, you always think of Beavis and Butthead.
As you do.
Just because.
Beavis and Butthead is an underrated masterpiece of the 80s.
They made a movie. I don't know
definitely influenced us early on. What an incredible work. So hilarious. And yeah, the drawings, Mike Judge's drawings were pretty primitive and adolescent styled. You wouldn't look at it and go, wow, what a great artist. You'd actually think, what is this children's scrawl? But that's
the
part of what makes it hilarious. Mm-hmm. In fact, if it was drawn better with more skill, it would be less hilarious. And so I definitely use that as inspiration. I was like, it doesn't have to be, Jeff Darrow to serve the purpose that we're going for. Jeff Darrow is my favorite comic book artist, by the way.
Oh. I don't know what it is. Now I feel like I fail at nerd.
He's an incredible detail-oriented artist where you can stare at one of his panels for hours and just find little tiny, like he must draw with a microscope. He's one of those artists.
I'm a P. Craig Russell fan.
Cellular level.
So who is that, Petra?
I was going to say my favorite comic artist is P. Craig Russell, who does these incredibly beautiful, detailed Art Nouveau kinds of things.
Nice.
Had to prove some nerd cred since I didn't know who that was.
Yeah. We'll trade nerdiness. And, I'll pick up some PK. You pick
P.
up
Craig Russell, yeah, he did a run on Conan the Barbarian. He did a lot of opera comics. If you dig opera, his opera comics are really good.
Wow. I didn't know that was even a genre. Opera.
Yeah, it's totally a genre.
Oh, cool.
And he did a really famous issue of Sandman called Ramadan. It's like one of the best comics ever done. So if you ever get a chance to check that out, I recommend it. I've totally derailed myself. I'm like looking at my list of carefully structured.
You digress.
Don't feel ashamed of looking at the list.
I got to look at the list. Yeah. Okay, so I know what I wanted to ask. Since we've been talking about the process of animating and making the imagery that went with this, you guys have worked on a big budget movie. This is completely different, right? This was a passion project. What was the difference for you in working on this compared to something like Pick of Destiny?
There's no difference. We put everything we got into every project. We go 107% every time.
107. It's very specific.
All right, 110. Okay, is that what you wanted?
Yes, I did. Thank you.
But those were, this was a labor of love. It was quite satisfying. And then to do it all kind of in-house DIY, and then it felt very, to use the overused organic, but it really did feel that way. Yeah,
I mean, for us, it is the same process. We start with ourselves and how we're feeling and where we're coming from. The Pick of Destiny really was our origin story. Even though it was fantastical, and we've never obviously actually met Satan at the crossroads. It is how it was
emotionally true.
We're going to tell the actual story of how we became Tenacious D, emotionally true, but then added flavor for entertainment value. And we felt the same way about Post-Apocalypto. Main difference between the two projects, other than about $10 million budget, was Post-Apocalypto. We worked hand in hand with Liam Lynch, our co-writer and director, who is an incredible force. And on this one, Post-Apocalypto, it was just me and Cage kicking out the jams for the entire thing.
Should I be saying it like that? Post-Apocalypto.
That is, yes, there is an accent.
There was a flourish.
I'll write myself
out. The budget for POD was actually $20 million.
Oh my God, really? Yeah. I was only off by one number.
Ted, you were...
No, but I was only off by, it was 1 or 2 at the first number. 10 or 20. Is it 10?
Hey, what's $10 million between friends?
So
that's expensive.
Yeah, I don't understand it was that big.
Comedy.
I think 10 million of it might have gone to Liam's jacuzzi.
It's a perfectly reasonable thing to spend money on. And once the apocalypse comes, you can fill it up and use that for drinking water. So you're set, right?
Yeah.
You should have said, you know what? We'll do a trilogy right now. $7 million a movie. We'll give you 3. Spread them out.
So is there going to be now that you're talking about a trilogy, where do you go from here? Is there going to be a sequel? Are you going to go to another dimension?
We're going to hook up with Bill and Ted and Flight of the Conchords. And
I would die. Please do that. Please.
Do a collab with those.
I don't know about that. Look, not to pick on Bill and Ted, but are they a real band? Flight of the Conchords is a real band. They can get up in front of 10,000 people and rock them real nice.
Everybody's doing their specialty.
I feel the same way about us. But if Bill and Ted went out and played an actual concert, would it be any good at all?
Didn't Keanu Reeves play bass in a band in the 90s? I feel like he played the Viper Room or something. So I bet
that's true. What was the name of his band? Piss and Vinegar or something?
Pee or something?
It was something having to do with urine, or was that?
No.
I think it was the letter, or maybe that was Johnny Depp's band. I can't.
Exactly.
No.
Johnny Depp.
But I feel like Keanu Reeves could rock if he needed to.
I feel like Keanu did do some bass playing.
Yeah, I remember him being
at the Viper Room. You're right.
Yeah,
remembering all of this.
Yeah. Anyways, definitely
this happen.
Flight of the Conch. Would love to collab with those fellers.
That would be so awesome.
In some kind of a battle royale.
Dogstar.
Thank you. God, it was driving me nuts. I knew I remembered it.
And the other guys in the band were so bummed because the audience would usually just focus on Keanu. Right. Even though he was the bass player, and who cares about the bass?
And dude, bass players are sexy.
I know, of course they are. They're not drummers. Come on, don't get crazy there, Petra.
Well, I hope this actually happens. It's funny,
we have a plan, but we can't tell you what it is for our next project. But a lot of it depends on what happens in this election now, because if this goes sideways and we actually do slide towards actual apocalypse, we're going to have to just keep on playing Post-Apocalypto for another 4 years. So everyone do your part, get out there and vote, and let us move on to our next project.
Please.
Hear that, everybody out there in Radio Land?
Please.
We're not going to find out what comes next unless you get out there. So what if, this project has been out in the world actually for a few years now. So have people read it, watched it, listened to it, and then gone out and wanted to save the world? What are you hearing from people who've read it or watched it?
It's really for the ages. I'm not sure many people have even know about it. But I think as history and time progress, it'll become like a lost classic.
There have been a lot of times when Kyle and I have looked at each other and stared deep into each other's souls and said, this is our masterwork. They will remember us for this long after we're dead and gone. They will remember Post-Apocalypto. I don't know if anyone else has said that or thought that, but we certainly have. We are very proud of our project, Post-Apocalypto. And
time is the only test, Petra.
I think it's probably similar to how like Van Gogh felt, because nobody bought his paintings before he died, except for his brother. His brother was like, dude, good painting. No, seriously, this is the best one so far. And then Van Gogh was like, but have you sold any of my pieces? Nah, dude, not yet, but they will.
I think he was French.
Cut off my ear. Life sucks. That's us.
That your next project is actually going to be a biography of.
We're doing Vincent and Theo too.
Yeah.
Jack and I get to play Theo.
And as you can hear, my accent is already there. I'm already
voice work. I mean, you proved your talent for voice work.
You're a master impression.
Post-Apocalypto. I love the Terminator, the Arnold Schwarzenegger voice. That's pretty great. So we have 10 minutes left, and I feel like it might be time to hear from the audience. I'm sure you guys.
Yeah. Where are they?
Are they?
Hopefully, they will pop up in the handy-dandy little chat room here. I don't see anything yet. Maybe are we howling into the void?
It's always embarrassing when you throw to the audience questions and there's no audience questions there.
Which only means that nobody's there.
Like, sometimes they're a little shy and it takes them a little while to warm up.
Feeling very Vincent van Gogh.
A prophet without honor in your own time.
If no one asks us a question, I'm going to chop off my own ear live.
Blue and gray. That'd be a good cover. Look out on a summer's day.
Well, I am.
Got some? We got one?
No, it's a message.
Is anyone listening? Nolan. AD Tech Nolan, help us. We have dead time on the air.
Well, in the meantime, while we figure that out, I did want to ask.
Yes.
Because I'm going back up my handy-dandy list of questions, and I see one that I didn't ask. When I first picked up this book, I was like, whoa, there are a lot of dicks.
Well, what else are there, too?
There's also a lot of vaginas. There's a lot of everything.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
Equal opportunity. Do you ever worry that this might be slightly too much?
For
your audience, for people that open the book and go, whoa, that's a lot of dicks and also vaginas.
For our audience?
Oh, that's true, actually.
No, we really just followed our heart. And our heart led us to a lot of penises and vaginas, a lot of genitalia.
We can't censor the muse. That's right.
Yeah, and that was the beauty of not having an overlord boss. You know, there was no one telling us what we could do. There was no editor.
It was pure D.
Yeah.
I'm going to call it pure D.
Oh, hey, we have questions. It turns out that we were not howling into the void. It was just a technical issue.
Oh,
Our lovely Nolan is pulling the questions so I can see them. Somebody wants to know a pick of Destiny 2.
Thank God.
A pick of Destiny 2?
Mm-hmm.
That's a great idea.
Wait, what's the question? When are we going to do pick of Destiny
2? And we hadn't thought of it. And this guy, that is a tremendous idea. POD 2.
Pick of Destiny 2. Well, I mean, in a way, Post-Apocalypto is pick of Destiny 2 because it's Tenacious D in. That's all it really is about. So the question is, what will be the next Tenacious D in? What will that be?
Will Tenacious D3 be in 3D?
I thought we established that it was going to be Vincent and Theo too, actually.
I'm already going to 3.
Yeah. So yeah, we were talking about a bong of destiny for a while, but we scuttled those plans. But maybe we could dust those off. There have been a lot of people asking for more POD.
Well, I was thinking maybe Jumanji and Tenacious D could do a collab, Jumanji.
How does that work, though? Is it just is it the cast of Jumanji?
It's a whole new movie.
Just add a D?
We're not.
You could have a board game that went with it. That would be great.
Basically, you're just adding me to the cast.
Okay, so who are you playing? Are you just playing KG?
I'm playing Cage. You're playing Jables, but then we switch bodies when we go.
I gotta be honest, Cage. I don't think it's not exactly writing itself.
Give it a theme song. Could we just maybe?
I don't know. It sounds great. Hey, we have another question. This person wants to know, what's the best burger you done eaten?
Oh, gosh.
What's the best burger I've done eaten?
I'm repeating that verbatim. What's the best burger you done eaten?
Jack turned me onto this little stand in Van Nuys called Bill's Burgers.
Yeah, Bill's Burgers is the best.
And he said, you got to go there. You got to go there. It's just a little stand. And I'm like, all right. It was quite a burger. And Bill, the guy runs it. I'm sorry, go ahead.
What's that? Until what?
No, I was just saying, Bill, the guy, I don't think is it open?
Yeah, it's open. He's there. Even through pandemic, you can get a Bill's Burger, but the hours are kind of odd. It'll be like 8 a.m. till 2 p.m. some days, and some days just don't feel like it.
But Bill is almost 100. No joke.
He's like 85 or something, and he's been flipping burgers there since the Korean War, and there's just something about it. It's basically like what In-N-Out used to be back in the day. It was like, it's the pure delicious. If you get a chance, it's on Oxnard Street between Van Nuys and Sepulveda, I think. I just wandered by it one day, and there was a long line coming out the stand, and I was like, that's better than a Yelp review. When you see a line in front of a restaurant, you know that means it's delicious. So I get in line, and I get up to the stand. I sit my ass down. Who's sitting right next to me? Mr. T, chowing down on a Bill's Burger. And I was like, that's it. I've stumbled upon gold. Because if Mr. T's there chowing down, and sure enough, it was the best burger I ever tasted.
We have about 4 minutes left. There's one more question coming in. I mean, this was an animated series, I guess, but this person is asking, any plans for a Tenacious D animated series?
Well, if we did it like we did Post-Apocalypto, we could have one ready in 2027.
I got my Pickle Rick here.
What?
Pickle Rick! I have a little miniature one.
When we saw Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland's show, Rick and Morty, we got super jealous, and that was part of the inspiration. We're like, we got to get us some of that.
We got to keep up with the Harmons.
That sweet genius animated series. So we did Post-Apocalypto, but hope to make an animated series one day.
Another animated series, I guess.
You
I'm
like?
so jealous that you have that giant pickle, Rick, man.
Oh, wait a minute.
What?
Hello, cosplay.
Wow.
Who is he now? Watch out, the fun's just. Oh.
FNAF at Freddy's. That's where I want to be.
I'm speechless.
We only have like 2 minutes left. Are there any other questiones?
Oh, we got 3 minutes.
We got 3
Step
minutes.
out there. Otherwise, we're just going to watch the Jack Black cosplay show, which actually I would totally watch.
We only have 3 minutes, MacGruber.
I've got a hat. I can put my hat on.
Oh my gosh, that's good.
Nice.
I like it.
Kate, did you bring any props?
Yeah, now you got to get some props.
That's a cool hat. It's got kind of a retro feel. It feels like you're
Yeah,
from the roaring 20s, kind of.
What they call a fascinator.
Oh.
Keep it by my desk so that when meetings are boring, I put it on.
It also seems like you've got some green screen key out issues there.
I do. I don't have an actual green screen. I just have a screen with a blanket draped over it. Oh, what do we got here?
Oh, yeah. Kitty cat cause. Kitty cat cage.
Yeah, so we're not having a masquerade in person because no conventions are happening in person, but we do have the costume display here.
That's right.
Oh, hey, this is a fitting question for our last 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Does pineapple belong on pizza?
Kyle, what do you say? Pineapple on pizza? Yes, yay or nay?
Of course. Pineapple on pizza is delicious, sweet and savory.
Yeah.
Duh.
I love pineapple on pizza.
Come on.
I'm not one of the haters. I know a lot of people are out there going, no, the purists. They're like, no, a slice, maybe pepperoni, maybe mushroom. I say, yeah, no, pineapples are welcome as well.
Yeah.
All are welcome.
Hawaiian classic.
Delicious. Dude, you know what I had the other day that was kind of incredible? I'd never tried it before.
Yeah.
Pineapple and jalapeno.
Oh, yeah.
Spicy.
Spicy and sweet.
Mhm.
Sweet and spicy.
California cuisine.
Dude, you know what? I've been eating too much.
Yeah, you got to go portion control. That's the
Because,
key.
Cage, you've been on fire, on fuego with the diet.
You know what? I went over the new 20. I went over 20. I had to rein it back in. I would have it. That's the challenge.
But, dude, you know what I was thinking? I was thinking, you know what I need to do? Just
What?
exercise more. So
Yeah.
I've been exercising like a fiend.
Yeah, because that's
It doesn't
proactive.
matter, dude. If I can eat way more, it doesn't matter. Like, the amount I can eat if I really let myself go,
No.
there's no amount of exercise that can keep up with that.
No. That's why I'm writing a musical, the Diet Musical, and it really is. One of the songs is no, exercise or meals over way more important than exercise. You can't exercise.
So, anyone out there in our last 20 seconds, I just want to say diet, exercise, buy Post-Apocalypto, the graphic novel. And, you know, that's all there is. Yeah.
I want to thank Petra and the
Petra,
tech
you've
guy.
been
I
great.
forgot his name. He was great.
Love you
were
guys.
great.
Around for the next panel, by the way.
Oh,
Thank you.
yeah. Star Wars. Stick around for Star Wars, you guys. Don't
Stick around.
forget
What
Star
is that
Wars.
Star Wars? I never heard of it. Oh gosh, that was fun.
Wait, did we get bonus time? Are we done?
Oh, I don't know. Do we have an
I
extra?
feel like we were done because I saw a red
Yeah,
clock.
we were there. Yeah,
You guys
we did.
have broken the space-time continuum. Post-apocalypto.
Again, we did it again.
All right.
See you guys.
Bye-bye, everyone. Stick around for the next panel.